Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will continue talking about action research and teacher as a researcher. Do you recall Cauchy's in 2005 definition of or the figure of action research? Here you can see the figure again. Just to recall the steps of action research. Well, let's recall the cycle very quickly and briefly. The action cycle begins with identifying a problem, and then we must devise a plan and implement that plan. This is the part of the process where the action is taking place. After we implement the plan, we will observe how the process is working or not working. After observing the situation, the entire process of action research is reflected upon, and perhaps the whole process will start over again. Now, let's give some examples. But before that, when we identify the problem, that step is very important, because if you come up with a very general statement, then the problem will become very confusing and complex. So the best thing is, after identifying the problem area, narrow it down to a manageable piece, okay? And then investigate the problem. When does it happen? Who does it affect? Where does it happen? Why does it happen? Think about what might be causing the problem. What might be the reasons of this problem? You may also want to talk to other teachers, your colleagues, or read about the problem in order to get some idea about this situation. Well, think about the situation and how to implement it. Think about the evidence that you will collect to decide whether your action is successful or not. How will you collect your evidence? How will you analyze your evidence? And then you can move to teaching acting step. And of course, implementing your solution. Implementing your solution requires observation. Gathering evidence, remember, analyzing the evidence to see whether your solution is working or not. Reflecting onto that. Has the problem been solved, or does it need further investigation? Do you need to come up with other solutions? Do you need to try out other alternatives? That kind of thing. Now let's take a problem as an example. I have a group of students who do not like working in group activities, taking part in group activities. Before I start investigating this problem, I need to sit down and think about it. Do students know how to give and support their ideas, disagree with each other, ask questions of each other, challenge others, etc., in the target language? Because if they can't, they cannot work in a group. Do students know that they should take different roles in groups? Can they act as a facilitator, a recorder, a reporter, and or a timekeeper? Are they willing to change roles, swap roles? Are the activities that I use suitable for group activities? Are the activities suitable for the students' level? Can they do them on their own? Or are they a little bit too challenging? Are there enough scaffolding activities to increase readiness? Is there sufficient guidance for group work in my instructions? For example, I may have read an article in which the researcher has claimed that letting students use their mother tongue in group activities improves the quality of their feedback. Well, I want to test this idea. So I'm going to set the question for myself: how does allowing students to use their mother tongue in group activities, group work activities, affect the length of their feedback, the number of ideas represented in their feedback, the accuracy of the language they use in their feedback, the level of language they use in their feedback? Identifying and investigating the problem is the most important step, because only then you can come up with suggestions to solve the problem. Try these suggested solutions out and see whether they work or not. Okay, let's give another example. Let's assume that I have just attended an online webinar, and there the speaker mentioned how gender biased teachers can be. I want to test if I am gender biased or not. I have decided to record my lessons to find out if I have such an issue. I will not observe myself in the classroom, but I will definitely use the recordings to see how I act, how I behave, because it may be too distracting for me if I try to do self-observation while I'm teaching. I will record 2 different classes with 2 different groups, okay? Because I want to make sure that my attitude is a general one and not a group-specific one. When I watch the recordings of my classes, I'm going to raise these questions, and I can also keep a tally, while I'm watching. How many questions do I ask my students? How many of them do I ask of my male students? How many of them do I ask of my female students? What type of questions, yes, no, or WH questions, do I ask my male students? How about my female students? How long do I wait for male students to answer? How much time do I give? Give them to think. How long do I wait for female students to answer? When students raise their hands, how often do I call male students? How often do I call female students? If the answer they give is wrong, what kind of feedback do I give to male students? And what kind of feedback do I give to female students? If the answer is correct, how do I praise my male students? How do I praise my female students? How do I encourage male students? How do I encourage female students? In case of a discipline problem, how do I react to male students? How do I react to female students? What kind of a tone of a voice do I use with my male students and with my female students? Is it soft, harsh, respectful, enthusiastic, serious, cheerful, sarcastic, etc. What kind of facial expressions do I use with my male students? How about with my female students? Do I show joy, happiness, excitement, disgust, anger, contempt, etc.? What is my body language like with male students and with female students? Body movements, hand movements, gestures, eye contact, personal space, that kind of thing. After analyzing the data, the answers of these questions, the tally that I have kept, I may find out that I do not have a gender-biased attitude. Well, that's great. But I may also find out that I do. Then I need to come up with a plan to solve this problem. Now that I am aware of the problem, I can implement my solution. One solution, one alternative solution. I can start trying to treat all of my students equally. I will continue recording my sessions with these two groups until I am convinced that the problem has been solved, that I have started treating my students, regardless of their sex, equally. It may not happen immediately, but at least I'm in progress. Slowly, I will get there, step by step. Maybe one behavior at a time, but eventually I will solve this problem. I'm not trying to work out miracles. What I'm doing as a human being is to first realize the problem and come up with certain solutions. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Take care. Bye.